Hi, everyone, and welcome back to YYC Business Speaks. Today, we are here with Queenie Way, and she'll tell us more about her business as we go. Hi, Queenie.
Hey, Julia. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. A little sweaty now, but because of the shift, snow and then sun, but I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
can't complain about the sun, though.
No, I welcome it.
Yeah, exactly right. Tell us a bit about your business.
Yeah, so I'm a social entrepreneur, investor, and wealth coach. And right now, my primary focus, we have two businesses. One is a sales and marketing consultancy, Chirp Media, and my own practice, Soul Vibe Capital, where we help you remove money stress, confusion to lay the foundation for generational wealth. So it's very specific to people that want to learn how to make their money work for them. I don't know about you, Julia, but I would like to not work forever for my money.
Yeah, definitely. I already have plans in place for that, so I totally get what
Perfect.
you're referring to. So I'm curious, what got you into like the two different businesses? Are they like connected in some way for you, or why those two specifically?
Yeah, they are in the sense that one is ran by my husband. So Chirk Media was the one that, he had. It was his baby, his dream, and we were building it. So at some point I was like, okay, I can do this, but I wanted to do something else that kind of fuels my soul. So then I created Soul Vibe Capital. And I realized that a lot of the things I'm talking about, most people don't know.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Okay, cool. How long have you been in business for?
Me, I got back into it because I had a baby. So that threw everything off, life off. I would say full time now. I've been with Chirp probably about a year or so. And then with SVC, it is we're like 3 months in.
Okay. Okay. And who do you serve, or who's your best customer?
So for my own business, I actually am specializing in helping healthcare professionals as well as software developers right now. Those are kind of who I'm focusing on. So people that have jobs, likely have some student loans, and they've got some savings, but they don't know what to do with it. Right? Most people were taught save money because that's the way to retire. But if all you have is a savings account in your bank, you're losing money or the value of that every single day. So it's kind of heartbreaking when a client of mine comes and says, hey, I have 80K in the bank account, but a regular savings account. I was like, oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
So that's who I'm targeting and, the people that I'm looking to help. And then on the other sales and marketing side, generally we work with businesses 3 to 10 million in revenue that are looking to create a system for lead generation.
Right. Yeah. I think that's cool with like the wealth building side of it, where you are educating people what to do with their money, because it's not something that gets taught in school regularly. And especially when we actually get into like a professional working job, and it's like, okay, now I do have all this money, and like, who's going to guide me, or what do I do with it? And like, that's amazing that you're putting in the education and you do that with your business.
I thank you. First off, I appreciate that. And I think it's needed. I think we underestimate just how ingrained we are in society to get a job, right? I was just interviewing these two high school guys for my podcast, and they told me the same thing. They started their financial literacy journey, and they're like, oh my God, we got to share this with people our age.
Yeah.
But their peers didn't want to listen because they're like, no, right now I am focused on just getting into a good college so I can get a good job.
Yeah.
But the thing is, wealth requires a foundation, right? We teach the 5 cores principle. And to me, they're the areas of banking, credit, debt, investment, and insurance. Once you have the foundation, then you can grow,
Yeah.
and have your assets grow for you. But most people just want to get rich quick. And unfortunately, that's not how wealth works. You might be able to get rich overnight, but no one has ever built wealth overnight.
Yeah. You can't plan to get rich overnight. That's usually something that just happens. Or like, it's like that get rich overnight over 20 years. like you build something over
Exactly.
10 or 20 years and all of a sudden like something happens and like it skyrockets something that you've been doing.
Exactly. And it can only skyrocket if you have a foundation for it to grow on. I label is kind of like building a house. You could start with the roof, right? So everybody, because they always want to talk about investments or crypto, whatever is like hot right now, the
Totally.
trend. But I'm like, do you understand blockchain? Do you
Right.
understand the actual tech that goes behind it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not saying don't diversify your asset classes, but
Mhm.
know what you're getting into, right?
Yeah.
Like, get the principles down. Otherwise, you're laying your roof on a pile of mud.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, like I started my wealth building journey when I was 24, so like 7 years ago. And I've definitely gone through the trial and error of it and like, losing money, making money. And it's like, oh, okay, like that's how it works. So I think it's super useful to actually have someone guide you through that to mitigate that trial and error and just, take it on.
Yeah. What was your biggest learning?
Oh my God, don't invest in something you don't understand.
Thank you.
Exactly what
Yes.
you're saying. Yeah.
But you had to learn too, right? Like it's so easy to want to listen to someone else. Anyone from your janitor to CEO will tell you what to invest in, but
Yeah,
is it right for you? Right? Like
exactly.
for me, investing is voting with my dollar. So
Yeah.
I want to know what it's going towards.
Yeah. And then also like when you're taking investing advice, like what's their game plan and then what's your game plan? And then if they're completely opposite, why would you take advice from that person? Right. So
And
it's quite interesting in that way too.
absolutely. There's so many different methods. And I find that's why people get confused so much when they start their journey because they're looking for the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
I get questions all the time. What can I do to get this better? I'm like, well, why do you even want to? Like, what is your end
Exactly.
goal? If you don't
Yeah.
have clarity in where you want to go, it doesn't matter what investment vehicle, right? Like, and then there's all these different things. You're like, well, I've heard this and I've heard this. I don't know which is the right one. Well, you can't compare a trading strategy to a value investing long term. It does not work the same way.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
I really encourage people to start simple and basic. Like, go back to yourself before you look outside. Like, what do
Mm-hmm.
you actually want? Do you have a healthy relationship with money?
Yeah.
We're all conditioned, right? Like, I'm from a Chinese background, so there's literally a phrase that's called eat bitter. Like, our entire mindset is scarcity mindset. You have
Yeah.
to work your ass off in order to make money.
So true.
But who told you that?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, right? You and I have been through training, personal development, and that, world. So we know that's a story,
Yeah.
thinking that you have to work so hard for your money. But that's just not true. You don't have to. It's a way of thinking. You're not used to thinking that I can make my money work for me.
Exactly. Yeah, so powerful. So great, Queenie. Okay, what's the greatest impact the pandemic has had on your business?
Woo. So mostly like on our consultancy side, we've had some tough times. We were just starting to grow when the pandemic hit. So we were at a team of 5, and then we scaled to 12 people, which was, it was great. But what that meant is our leadership skills had to match that, right?
Yeah.
And we weren't there.
Hmm.
So we learned the hard way. And then right after we hired the 12th person, we took a 100K loss in 2 months.
Oh, man.
So it basically depleted our cash flow and, left us a little bit or a lot in the red. And
Right.
so we were dealing with, a lack of cash flow. Um, not having a sustainable lead system coming in. And then also, how are we going to support the team? I actually liquidated some of our assets just to be able to pay for the team.
Right.
for
Yeah.
those few months.
Hmm.
Um, and what we learned was not everyone is a good fit for your team, even if they seem like it at the beginning, because we were trying so hard to, keep them on, because we were thinking, oh, it's COVID, it's hard to find a job and all that. And that may be true, but if they weren't a good fit for us, we should have let them go.
Hmm.
We shouldn't like try to save everyone mentality sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like, we hired you hire and bring people on the team to help you build, but
Yeah.
also they're not doing their job or values just don't align.
Yeah.
It's okay to let them go.
Totally. Yeah. They're probably better off somewhere where they would actually be aligned with the business and what's happening there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the way our business pivoted and shifted, there was a focus on developers. Like we were looking for developers. And we've learned that it's really hard to find senior developers, like locally,
Okay. Yeah.
because all the good ones are taken up working at Google and Amazon.
Mm, yeah. Have you found a solution to that?
We are, thankfully, one of our team members. We found an experienced senior one, but they're actually in Spain.
Oh, wow.
Originally from the UK, but in Spain. So that actually helped because of our search. It expanded our reach.
Uh-huh.
Right. So now we just need to find more people. Like the developments world is really new to me personally
Yeah.
because there's so many different ways. So everyone can create the same end product, but they can go 20 different ways or more to get there. And they're not wrong. It's just a different style.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a challenge to say the
Right.
least.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so then what are one or two action you've taken over the last year that have made a difference for your business?
Honestly, investing in ourselves. So right before COVID hit, we were peaking in our space and we're like,
Yeah.
okay, we became the smartest people in the room. And that was like a red flag to me. I was like, whoa, nope, nope.
Yeah.
Because I rather be like the dumbest person in the room, but then I know I'm learning and I'm surrounded by powerful people. So we ended up making some big investments.
Hmm.
Um, we actually invested over $106,000 between
Wow.
the two of us.
Yeah.
Um, and that gave us support, a new range of people to connect with, to meet with, to learn from,
Mm-hmm.
and build together. And it really solidified how important and crucial your environment is. If you're an entrepreneur, you need that environment. If you're trying to create wealth, you need an environment where it's safe to talk about money with no judgment,
Yeah.
right? Because it's hard either way.
Mhm.
So we got into some really amazing groups and narrowed our systems, like basically top down to bottom. And I'd say it paid off because we've officially hit 100K months. So that was a really big milestone for us that we were going
Wow.
for.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, okay, so having invested all this money into being one of the, like, not the smartest person in the room, right? Being in a room where you can learn from a lot of people, because I think that's important too, and I kind of have the same mentality. But I also know that there's a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs out there who kind of get this feeling of like I gotta have something to say, or how do I contribute to this conversation? Like if they're not the smartest person in the room. So did you have that? And like if you did, how did you deal with it?
For me, it's a hobby and a habit to go after those people. And I mean that in the best way possible. So when I say go after, I want to learn as much as I can from them. Like
Mhm.
there is this feeling of, oh my God, this person is so much further ahead. For example, there's literally a person in our mastermind group that makes 900 plus $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, oh, okay, well, we are really far away from that.
Right.
But for me, it's like, okay, what can I learn from you? And then in terms of to answer your question, yes, I have that feeling like, well, what can I contribute to you? But I've learned just to ask someone, because
Mhm.
you don't know. Maybe I'm not as skilled in business as you, right? Like I
Yeah.
haven't grown, hit that peak yet. But as a human being, I still have value given my life experiences. And
Yeah.
I won't know what you actually need. Maybe you just need an accountability partner, or maybe you need someone to talk to, or
Mm.
maybe you just really want to share with me because of the struggle and growth you've went through, and you really want to pass that on for free.
Yeah.
So for people that are starting out that don't really know, just ask them, hey, is there anything I can give back to you? Like, is there anything I can do for you?
Hmm.
It's that giving mentality, but to
Yeah.
truly give, not to expect something in return because you think you're going to get a sale.
Hmm.
It's a little different.
Yeah. Powerful. Really cool. Okay, it's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So, what are one or two mistakes you've made along the way that other entrepreneurs can learn from?
Man, trust your gut is one.
Mhm.
Um, Last year we did not trust our gut. Like I was saying, when we've grown our team, there were some instances where I felt like, okay, maybe it's time to let this person go
Yeah.
because it's no longer a fit, but I wanted to be better. Like my whole mantra is I work for the team. The team doesn't work for me. So
Yeah.
I do whatever I can to provide. So I was taking a lot of the blame on me, and like, maybe it's just because I'm not a good enough leader. Maybe I just don't have the experience, so on and so forth. But what we learned is trust your gut. It's okay to trust your gut.
Hmm.
So that's one of the most valuable lessons. And the second one is fail faster. Like, seriously, success is truly just the accumulation of your failures. That's
Yeah.
all it is. There's like the saying, the master has tried 1,000 times more, or sorry, the master has failed 1,000 times more than the beginner has tried.
Wow.
So for me, it's executing with speed. Like perfection does not exist. It comes up every now and then. I'm like, I want this to be good, but let me put it this way. When you're starting a business, you're trying to create a product.
Hmm.
When really, my opinion, go sell it first. Why spend months and 6 months to a year perfecting something that you don't know if someone is willing to buy from you? That's
Yeah.
a waste of time.
Yeah.
So the faster you can get to market and actually talk to people that may or may not buy from you gives you a much better idea of what to create, and
Yeah.
it'll actually be valuable to them.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. And I think especially with lead generation, because people are scared to like go generate leads because they don't want to hear the no or like be rejected or whatever, right? And I'm like, no, like your job is to go accumulate no's. Like go see how often you can go screw up conversations and like make them better the next time. And right, like
Exactly. And it's so uncomfortable. I get it. Like I still have that. Like I'm at a point now where I eat rejection for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
that's awesome.
But it still affects me. Like on Monday to Friday, I'm priming my mind to take that, but on weekends I like take off my armor, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it hurts more on weekends when I get rejections in my DMs. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay, just stop. But
Yeah.
on Monday to Friday, I prime my brain, and I love your fact, like your job is to go out and see how many rejections you get, because lead gen or sales is a numbers game at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So, and you won't know which part of that system you need to top up if you don't
Hmm.
talk to enough people. So instead
Exactly.
of asking how many calls am I booking, it's how many rejections am I getting a day?
Exactly, right?
You
So
got
good.
it.
Okay, where can people find you?
So I am on social media at Soul Vibe Capital. So that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you guys are on a wealth journey, check out the Facebook group Financial Literacy for the 99%. I call it the 99% tribe. And what I want to do and create there is really a community where you can have open, judgment-free, no money shaming conversations and be able to ask any question. Because I believe you can't learn about something if it's not talked about. So you have to talk about it. And I want to create a space for people of any level to go in.
Yeah. What's the Facebook group called again?
Financial literacy for the 99%.
Okay, financial literacy for the 99%. You might have invited me to that. Maybe not.
I'll send you one now, though.
Yeah, totally. I want to see what you're doing over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. One last question. Tell me what's most inspiring to you today.
Most inspiring to me is my daughter.
Aww.
She just her energy and her outlook on the world. She gets so excited and it's just pure. Like that excitement is pure energy and doesn't matter what kind of day I'm having. If I see her, it's like this, it's a sense of peace. And so my why and what gets me going is I want to retire my husband and my child so they can do anything they want.
Yeah.
And that's why I work.
So cool. How old is your daughter now?
She is 19 months now.
Wow. Yeah. You know what I love about like kids at that age is like there's so much that we can learn from them and like just their way of being, how they show up, and they just don't have a care in the world.
No, I love it. It's like she falls down, gets back up, boom, oh, and gets back up. I love it.
Yeah. And I was part of a group once where I was with a whole bunch of teenagers, and you could tell, well, when I say teenagers, it was like 9 to 17, right? And one of the exercises that they had to do was like to go around and introduce themselves to each other and like say hi. And you could tell like the people who were like 15, 16, 17, they would go say hi to one or two, and it was kind of like a bit awkward. But the 9-year-olds, they'd be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And then they'd talk for a couple seconds and they'd move on. They'd be like, hi, I'm so-and-so. And it's just like such a different energy, but it was so cool to see.
I completely agree. I can't wait, but I'm also scared. New challenges as a parent, always. It's like never a dull moment.
Exactly, right? Cool, that brings us to the end of this interview. Thanks so much for joining us, Queenie. Is there anything you'd like to say before we finish off here?
Yeah, well, thank you, Julia, for having me. I guess just a friendly PSA reminder. Wealth is a mindset and focus about becoming. It's not a checklist of to-dos.
Yeah.
And anyone can do it. I'm in the space to tell people like you can do it. Even if you're working a 9 to 5, you can create wealth. The principles are the same. It's not exclusive to the 1%.
Powerful. I love it. Thanks so much, Queenie.
Thanks, Julia.